Hello everyone, my name is Dorothy Chia and you're watching my vlog, Life of a Piano Teacher. Today we're going to talk about the topic, choosing a piano teacher. We are at the time of the year, November, December. Usually I get a lot of inquiries, and at this time a lot of parents are looking for a new teacher for the kids. Either they're starting out on piano lessons, or they could be transferring to another teacher, or they could have taken a break for the O-level, A-level exams and are now thinking of picking up piano lessons again. So let's talk about the different options available. We know that you could take piano lessons with a private teacher. So you go for private piano lessons, or you could take lessons at a commercial school, at a music school. Let me tell you a little bit what's the difference. Sometimes a music school charges more versus a private piano teacher. Why? Because there are overheads in a music school. So you need to pay for the aircon, you need to pay for the administrative, you need to pay for the running of the school. So there is an admin fee on top of the fee that is allocated to your piano lessons. But if you go to a private teacher's house for lessons, usually the teacher will run everything. So she does the admin, she does the scheduling, she does everything in the teaching. So you're paying for less one person's job. Alright? So there is a difference in the rates, in the piano fees. Secondly, also, if you sign up with a music school, the piano teacher or the teacher is allocated to you. Which means if you are going on a Wednesday and you say, I want a lesson on Wednesday afternoon at 5 o'clock, for example, then they will look to see who's on duty, who's teaching on Wednesday evening and afternoon slots. Does this teacher have available openings? And then they'll just allocate that teacher to you. Now when you go to a private instructor, that you get some choice on which teacher you want to study with. Okay, and with a school you don't have the choice, the teacher is allocated to you. Another thing is timing. Most music schools that start out at the lower grade, they offer 30-minute lessons. But personally for me, in my studio, beginners start with 45-minute lessons, and the moment my students go into graded exam, grade 1 and above, I give them 1 hour lesson. So although it might look like 30-minute lesson is cheap, the fees are cheap, but actually in reality it's not, because the time is shorter. They squeeze all the things that they want to teach in that 30-minute lesson, because commercial schools are they have baseline to meet, they have profits to make. Yeah, so if I can squeeze more students out of one teacher, then that is the baseline. I would have 30-minute lessons, and that way I can target more customers. I have a bigger quantity. If you go for a private teacher, then that private teacher can focus more on quality, because they know that students come to me, it is beneficial to my reputation as a teacher that this student have a positive learning experience under me. So I'm not too concerned with 45-minute or 1 hour, but rather I want at the end of the day that student to have a fruitful lesson with me. And therefore for me, every student that I teach, I will be teaching a variety of things. For example, repertoire, improvising, composition, and that's on top of just covering exam work. Okay, that's because I'm not limited by a 30-minute time frame. I have 45 minutes to 1 hour to play with, and that gives me a lot of scope to throw in a lot more and cover variety as well as more in depth. A lot of parents these days think that due to the hectic schoolwork of their kids, they choose convenience. So convenience means they want the teacher to go to their house because that will save the children traveling time to go out for lesson. So they are at home, so they can have tuition and then back-to-back piano lesson and then back-to-back another lesson. Okay, so the parents think that in terms of achieving more things and getting more done, they prefer an instructor to go to their house for teaching piano. My experience is that the more established teachers in the market, teachers who have taught for 20 over years, teachers who are graduates, teachers who are teaching advanced students, these teachers will usually teach from their home studio. They do not travel out. And if you are belong to the category of parents that think that, no, I want to choose a teacher that is to my convenience, then you might be missing out on these more established teachers who do not travel to students' house to teach. Okay, for me, my resources are in my studio, my books, my CDs, my computer, my grand piano. These are all available around me in my home studio, so I don't travel to students' house to teach. So likewise, I know of many similar colleagues of this caliber. They also do not travel to students' house to teach. In fact, most of the teachers who travel, they could be starting out, and so they haven't yet have a pool of students that they can count on for their income. So they will go to the student's house because that's where the supply is. Another group of teachers that travel are those that are foreign talents. So because they are renting their apartment, so the only way they make a living is if they go to the student's house because they don't have the resources in the rented apartments. So do you choose convenience, or would you rather choose a more established teacher to teach your child? Thirdly, I ask parents who are considering piano lessons for their children to always consider and sit down and discuss with your kids, and sit down to discuss husband and wife, mommy and daddies, to discuss what are the goals that you want for your kids. Why do you think you want piano lessons for the children? Okay, is it to chase after the certificate? Do you want your child to develop a more aesthetic balance besides the academic work? Are you of the perception that I want my child to enter competitions, masterclass, festivals, because I want them to build a portfolio so that will help them in getting to a direct school admissions, DSA? Are you learning for leisure? Do you want the teacher to include pop repertoire as well as classical repertoire? So ask yourself these questions because it will determine what kind of teacher you're looking for. Some teachers, because they are classically trained, they do not want to teach pop piano, okay? Or some teachers specialize in competitions. So they're very good at training students for competitions, so that's their expertise. So if you're looking at competitions, then go for that kind of teacher. For me, I believe in systematic grading, so my students do go for ABRSM exam, but besides the exam pieces, I also believe in a holistic musicianship. So I do expose my students to varied repertoire of all genres, so include classical, pop, jazz, and duets. Okay, so let me rephrase. When it comes to choosing a piano teacher, number one, do you want a school or a private teacher? Number 2, do you want convenience over choosing going to a more established teacher that does not travel? And number 3, what are your personal goals? And very important, if your goal aligned with the goal of the teacher, then that's where you reap the most out of your piano lessons. So I hope this has been helpful. Do like, share and comment on what your thoughts are, and good luck in your piano teacher search. Till next week, bye bye.